This is the tutorial for Model Creation Part 4. I'm going to begin this part by starting a new standard IPT. I'm going to start my 2D sketch on the XY plane. And I'm going to begin this sketch by using the rectangle tool. And I'll start it at the origin. And I'll bring it up without clicking again. I'm going to type in my X-axis, which is 4.5. I'm going to press Tab, which will allow me to change the Y-axis, which will be 2.5. And I'm going to press E on my keyboard to extrude this object. And the total extrusion of this object is going to be 3. So if I change my distance to 3 and say OK, I'm now going to start a series of holes on this. So I'm going to start my first sketch on the top. And what I'm first going to do is I just would like to rotate this. So if yours is already in this depiction, you don't have to rotate it, but here you'll see that mine now has top written correctly. I just like to rotate it here to get me on the right view to create this. And I'm going to start with a point. And I'm going to place my point on this line that we see on the right here. And I can do this without even dimensioning it. If I move and hover my point and I snap at the green, because this will be the midpoint. If you did not snap that, the distance from this point to this line down here is going to be 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and press H on my keyboard, and it's going to pick up this point. And this hole has a radius of 1. So I'm going to go ahead and type in a radius, or a diameter of 2 in this case. And I'm going to make sure that it goes all the way through. So I see my termination here says through all. I'm going to click OK. And I've done 1 of 3 holes. The next hole I'm going to do is on the front face. Just place this in my view. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a point, and I'm going to place it in here. And I don't want it to catch any of the geometry that exists on this part. So when you place it in here, you don't want to grab this dotted line, you don't want to grab this blue line. You want to just float it in the open here. So I'm going to right-click OK. And now I need to locate this. So I'm going to dimension it from the bottom to the point, and that is going to be 1.5. I'm going to dimension it to the right side, which is going to be 1.5 as well. And then I'm going to press H on my keyboard, and the diameter of this hole is going to be 0.5, and just like before, I want it to go all the way through. So make sure that this is 0.5, and make sure my termination is through all. Say OK. And lastly, I'm going to draw a quarter of a hole on the back end here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my view cube. I'm going to click this upper left corner of my view cube so that it rotates my object, and I'm going to start a sketch on this left face. You can see here that I have the left face showing in my view cube. And I'm going to create a point, and I'm just going to grab the upper right corner and make sure that's a green dot when I click there. And I'm going to press H on my keyboard. And now this one is an overall diameter of 4, but it has a couple different things on here. First thing is it does not have it does have a termination. It's not through all. The termination of this is going to be a distance. So now it adds in this second factor here. So we're going to change this distance to 2. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to change this drill point, and we're going to change it from an angle to a flat bottom. So if you click the flat bottom, then click OK. And if we return to our home view, this is the completion of Model Creation Part 4.